What an amazing opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. Lauren, for that intro. Man, I forgot about my wine-making days. But thank you for that. Yeah, I must agree with Tricia. The ICO that we did aged me visibly by 10 years. They say every single person has 1 year in his life that ages him 10 years. Last year was mine, right? It is not something that I would recommend for any person. And if you do it, come speak to me first. There's a lot of detail. So before we get started, I would like to launch. Let's just grab this thing. So what we have done is we've created a platform that allows any person, literally your waiter, your petrol attendant, to invest in property via fractional property ownership. Now, we are only the software supplier. We are the guys that build the solution. The people that actually implements this for fractional property ownership are the banks and your financial institutions, your guys that are licensed to do this, right? So we are the implementer of the blockchain. Meet Bootle. This is actually the lady that started the concept in my mind. So Bootle is a domestic worker. She earns 4,750 Rand a month. That, like all of us, there are expenses, right? She is a single mom of 2 kids, both at school. She's got her parents that she looks after, that lives with her. And she's obviously got the things that she needs to pay. Ooh, Canada. There we go. She's got her rent. So let's go ahead. There's, she's got all her expenses. She's got rent to pay. She's got transport costs. She's got groceries. And after everything is said and done, so just quickly, I can see at this side, right? Yes. Okay. So after everything is said and done, Bootle has 700 Rand left in her account, right? And she hasn't touched data. She hasn't bought airtime. She hasn't paid school expenses. You know, there's little surprises every now and then from the school. None of that, right? 700 bucks. Yep. There we go. Groceries for 5,950 bucks. Transport 600 bucks. This leaves Bootle with 700 bucks to spend. Now, competition time. Ta-da-ta-da. We've got these awesome caps, right, with the PX logo for our cryptocurrency, PXT. It's a 3D cap, really high quality stuff. I've got 3 of these to give away to 3 people that would tell me what is the investment advice that you would give Bootle if she wanted to build herself a future. All you need to do is put your hand up and say, I'd like to give it a shot. Okay, put up your hand. Tell me.
All right, so if you were to invest only 200 Rand a month and maybe at an average of 15% interest. Thanks. Hi, thank you. So I read a recent study that said if you were to invest 200 Rand a month at an interest rate of 15% on average, it would take you about 36 years to become a millionaire. So if she were to at least invest 500 Rand of that every month, she'd still be left with at least 200 Rand for those surprises. And she would become a multi-millionaire, a millionaire in 26 years.
That's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. It is, you have won yourself a cap. Come fetch it from me just now, please.
Thank you.
I'll grab that. I'll just take it. However, with only 700 bucks left, there is no chance that Bootle is going to spend 200 bucks on an investment. She can't. You almost got a cap free of charge.
I would help Bootle open an altcoin trader account. I would get her, put at least 300 Rand into Ripple. and wait until June. Because cryptos are better assets than evaluating rand.
You've won yourself a cap, you can come fetch it. However, what do you tell Bootley when Bitcoin drops like a rock? Are you going to eat the bologna sandwich that she's going to serve you the next day? Fair enough, fair enough. One more. I'm going to take that side. You've got a mic.
Right. So I'd probably offer one or two suggestions. Maybe invest in property using your platform. Or secondly, maybe just stay away from crypto.
Come get your cap afterwards. So the fun part is, not one of you said put the money into a savings account, right? Because there's absolutely no point in it. Glad I didn't ask you. The thing is that there are more or less 200 million people in Africa alone that sit with this same issue. They've got expendable income. They've got money that they would like to put somewhere towards something, but their options are limited. In fact, 200 million people with absolutely zero option. That's frightening. So I asked the question to a guy called James. Now, James, you can find him at the Mug and Bean just down the road. And I say, James, do you do wealth creation? He says, yeah, sure. I say, how do you do it? He says, I save my tips. It's a good place to start. And I say, and where do you put it? Because I'm now in this thing. I want to understand where you actually save and make money. This is what James says. Where do you put your money? In Bitcoin, sir. Honest answer. What he follows up with killed me. And then I print it out in a paper wallet and put it under my mattress. So saving and investment. If you go onto the US SEC website, there is a little blog that explains the differences between saving and investment. And in the saving portion, it says, saving is when you put your money in the safest possible place, but the trade-off is that your money earns a low wage as it works for you. They use those terms. Your money earns a low wage as it works for you in a savings account. If you make that just sink in, are we really telling somebody like Bootley, you already earn a low wage? We are now going to give you a low wage as you invest your money. Is that fair? Is that not money discrimination in some way? We need to change that. Now, why can't Bootley simply walk in to a fund manager's office and say, I've got 50 Rand, I would like to put this into the ABSA Property Equity Fund, please? Because the person on the other side won't know what to do with the 50 bucks. There's limits. So there's very limited opportunity for somebody like Bootley. In my mind, that is the great value, that is the great gift that blockchain gives to the world. It enables us, as a collective, to build systems that crosses that boundary of expense. Suddenly, it makes it possible for us to, via cryptocurrencies and via the entire technology stack, create applications that allows somebody like Bootley to pay 25 bucks for a micro share of property. And that is what the ProsperiProp vision is. Our vision was to make it possible for somebody to spend 25 Rand to buy into a property investment. What does that mean for Bootley? So instead of putting her 25 bucks in a bank savings account, she now earns a fractional asset. She generates a value when the asset appreciates. She earns income as that property earns income. She earns dividends, and that asset has a very high, much higher liquidity. So she can, well, it has liquidity. That is what blockchain does for us. Now, what it does for the property industry, it unlocks an entire layer of people that were ignored. The top structure is why the fund is the portion that the fund managers focus on, right? Those are your rich people. Those are the people that can afford a 3,000 Rand minimum investment fee. That's the guys that's been targeted. Everybody below that has not been targeted. We are looking at billions of dollars that can be realized for the property industry the moment we make it possible for the man on the street to get involved in property investment. And that, I think, is the technology. That is what you and I and everybody in this room should focus on. It's not about Bitcoin. It's not about Bitcoin Cash. Who's the best? It's not about that clash. It's not about, is a private blockchain really a blockchain? That has nothing to do with the question. The question is, how can we make Bitcoin and blockchain work for the man on the street? The moment we've done that, we've realized the Satoshi Nakamoto dream. And that's it. Thank you. Questions? Okay, questions.
Hi, I'm Arlene. I'm from the U.S. How does Boolean get identity to do your fractional investment? That's the question.
What was the first part? How can who?
How does she get identity?
Oh, Boucher.
Yes. If from what I'm understanding, the unbanked, they don't have the paperwork that I have. So I showed my Social Security card to Gemini to invest in Ethereum. How does Boolean, with no identity, invest in her 20, 30, 50 Rand? How do you know that it's Boolean and not me? I have paperwork, but she does not.
So the technology that we are developing and that has been developed, so just as a side note, we will be launching a proof of concept with a company in Canada that has a massive parking lot system at the end of March, actually. How we address that is to partner with all kinds of organizations that already exist. So we take payments in the form of an EFT through a post bank, through a ShopRite Checkers, through one of those, and go through a Wala Dala. Where is she? Yes. That's all possibilities. And what I said earlier on is very important. It's not just us developing this technology, it's us as a collective that's building it.
But I think the point as well is that she does have an identity.
She has an identity. She's got an ID book. But yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. I think that's all we actually have time for. Please speak to Lou after the session.
Thanks, everyone.